I am just preparing myself in case the Easter Bunny decides to bring me books rather than chocolate. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife and today we are taking some books off my bookshelf. These are a couple of books that I have already read and I know I'm not going to go back to. Books that I have tried out and just didn't work for me. Books that I've already read and I know somebody else that I know is going to love and read them. Or books that I haven't read, but I know I'm not going to be reaching for anytime soon. I'm going to start out with a book that you haven't even seen me attempt to read, and that is Don't Look Back by Jo Spain. I got this as a gift from my aunt who had read it by a pool in Spain and really enjoyed it. And she thought that it was something that would really work for me, but it turns out this just didn't hit. I think I read it in the time in March where I was going through a little bit of a reading slump. Jo Spain is an Irish author. This is a thriller. I think it is set in London. I didn't really get too far into this book to figure out everything that was going on, but the writing style just didn't really work for me. I really felt like I was just waiting for something big to happen, and in the first couple of pages alone, it didn't feel like anything was going to happen. It just felt very samey, so I kind of put this one down. Then I've got two books by the same author, one that I have read and didn't really enjoy, and one that I know I'm not going to enjoy from having read that one. So that is The Graham Effect and The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I read The Deal and I really did not enjoy it. I slogged my way through that book and I didn't want to pick up The Graham Effect after that. I knew that if I didn't get along with The Deal as much as I had wanted to, then The Graham Effect, which is of a very similar ilk, they're both hockey romances, it just wasn't going to do anything for me. I don't know if I'm going to go back to Elle Kennedy anytime in the future, but it's definitely not going to be right now. And I know how popular these books are, so I know that somebody's going to walk through the library, see these, and grab them off the shelves. I'm also going to say goodbye to The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This isn't that I didn't enjoy it, it's just that I know I'm not going to pick it up again. This was actually the second time that I read this book, and I had forgotten that I'd even read it the first time. But I had a really good time with it. I had a really good time getting back into it. I think the first time that I read it, I was on holiday. I wasn't really in a reading mood. I was more so trying to just soak up the sunshine. So I think it's okay that I kind of had forgotten what had happened back then. And I had a good time with it this time. I know that it's the start of a new series. I know that there is another book that has come out and it's called The Rule Book. And I have got a copy of it that I'm really excited to get into. But I'm just not going to go back into this one a third time. I am also going to give away Kala by Colin Watt, but it's not going very far. I'm going to give this one to my dad because I think he would really enjoy discussing this in his book club. He's been part of a book club for about a year or so, and every now and then he gets the opportunity to discuss what the book is going to be. And I think they're really going to enjoy this one. It is set in Ireland, it's got an Irish author, it's got a lot of intrigue, it's got a lot of things that you can really take from it and discuss about this book. So hopefully this is one that they're going to enjoy, maybe a little bit more than I did because I struggled with it at times, but this might work out for them. One that did not work out for me at all is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I gave this a really good try. I think I got to about 40% of the way through or so when I knew that this wasn't going to go any further for me. I just don't give a damn about rich white people problems. And this book is the epitome of rich white people problems. And I just didn't care about any of the characters in this book, as well as all of the rich white people problems that was happening. I didn't care about any of the characters in this book enough to want to keep reading about them. So once I gave up on this book, it kind of put me on a thinking spiral of, am I going to get rid of every other Lucy Foley book that I've got on my shelves? I have only got one other that I haven't read yet. I've enjoyed The Guest List. I DNF'd The Paris Apartment. I DNF'd The Midnight Feast. And I haven't read yet The Hunting Party. So let's see how I get along with it. But my hopes are a little bit dashed. Finally, I'm saying goodbye to one of the biggest disappointments that I had so far in 2025, and that was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I saw so much discourse about this book that it was debauchery in pages, that it was so steamy, that it was so kinky, that there was so much kink in this book, and I opened it, and the most kinky that we had was nipple clamps. And that's like kink 101. I just felt like this was a little bit too vanilla as to what I was expecting about when you're talking about a book that's got kink in it. And I really wanted more from this book. I also listened to some of the audiobook for this, and I had a really weird time with the male narrator. Despite Lucas in this book being Swedish, I felt that the audiobook narration was more so airing on a Spanish accent than a Swedish one. And I don't know if that's an accident with the audiobook narrator. I don't know if that's the notes that they were given, but it just completely threw me off balance. Ali Hazelwood and I think this is our final goodbye. I think this is the last one of Ali Hazelwood's that I'm going to ever try reading. I really did give it a good try. My friend Shannon and I read this together. She DNF'd it a lot further into the book than I was expecting her to DNF it at. And both of us were just a little bit let down by this book. Those are the books that are coming off of my shelf to make a little space for if I decide to go on a little Easter hunt spree. Have you got any books that you are thinking about getting rid of in the next couple of weeks? And what is going to be the tipping point that puts you over? If you'd love to leave me a comment, if you can't think of anything you'd like to say, then just leave me a goodbye waving emoji. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.